Welcome back to the Toppy Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name's Connor Williams, and we're back with another video. This time it is the preview to the Everton Crystal Palace game this weekend. Well, this on Monday. Um, we'll be running through the lineups and all that stuff, score predictions, talking a bit about us, talking a bit about Palace, talking a bit about Palace's manager situation, and all that good stuff. So stay tuned to the end of the video for all that good stuff and stuff like that. But yeah, so Crystal Palace, like I said, it's Monday at Goodison Park, 8 o'clock. Goodison under the lights, as some like to call it. Um, yeah, I think the big one here is sort of for us. We'll start off with us because this is an Everton fan channel. Um, I think it's a good opportunity for us. I think everybody around us has a tough game this weekend. Um, and like you've got Burnley, have got Arsenal, Sheffield United have got Brighton. I'm not really, I wouldn't count them as around us too much, but if Burnley and Sheffield United start picking up wins, that could be a bit dicey. But Luton have got United, Forest have got West Ham, which is here or there. And then Palace have got us, we've got Palace. So this is a really good opportunity to close the gap and leapfrog Luton, closing the gap on Nottingham Forest. Um, we have a better goal difference than them. And if we win and Forest and Luton lose, we leapfrog the pair of them, and we've got a better goal difference than them. This is a big opportunity. I think this opportunity is as big as Luton had at the weekend, just gone. So they played Sheffield United. If they beat Sheffield United, it wouldn't be done. There's loads of time left in the season, and I'm not that reactive and reactionary. But it was a really good chance for Luton to get another 3 points on the board before they go on this little run of tough games, and they didn't. Which is good for us because they play United, City in the Cup, Liverpool, and then Villa. They're three tough league games. The cup game will take it out of them a bit if they don't rotate. They're a tough run of games for Luton, but we'll concentrate on the league ones. They might go 3 games without a win. Whereas during those 3 games, we play our next three are Crystal Palace, like I mentioned, who we'll get on to them in a minute. Then we play Brighton away, tough game. We had their number last year. Do we have it this year? Could we do a Luton? And then we've got West Ham, hit or miss. But we've got to start picking up points in these 3 because then roles reversed. We have United and Liverpool after that. So it's there's no easy games in the Premier League, but it does seem like they're on a bad run of games, and we have a bad run of games. But I think it's a really good way to do that, and we close the gap on Palace, who realistically they're 24. They're 5 points ahead. We'd only go 2 points behind them. Palace have got a lot of trouble at the minute. Obviously the manager and the players injured and stuff like that. I think one of the good things about Everton is we have a good record against Palace. We've won 10 of the games against them, drew 10, and they've only won 4. The last couple of years, we beat them at Goodison in January in the FA Cup this year. We drew with them on the 4th of January in the league at their place. We beat them away the year before at their place. And we beat them. Somehow doesn't have the Goodison game last season for some reason. But at Goodison, we've beat them 3-0 in 2022. We beat them 3-2 in 2022 in May. We've got a decent record at Goodison Park against them, actually, a really good one. We tend to win by a couple of goals at Goodison. If not, we draw. The last time they beat us at Goodison might be 2014. So yeah, that just shows how good of a form we've got against them. Obviously, the big one for Palace is manager issues. Who's going to manage them? Roy Hodgson did go ill supposedly yesterday when he was about to do his presser. It was rumored he was going to get the sack, and then he was meant to do his press conference. Then he got ill, which people thought was a bad excuse by Palace, sort of like so he didn't have to do, because they're going to sack him. But then I think it turned out he might have actually been ill, and I think they've sacked him while he's in hospital, or when he's come out of the. I don't know. This is all like apparently according to the rumors. I think he might have come out of hospital to be fair, but they still sacked him yesterday, I believe. Or at least news has been leaked that Glazer is getting the job. So yeah, I think I saw a tweet saying that they'd sacked him. But you know what the problem with the internet is? It could have been an old one. There's that many jokers on the internet nowadays. It could have been an old tweet. But like I said, Glazer is supposedly meant to be taking over. Their last tweet was that Roy Hodgson was ill. Then they tweeted saying, following the news, he can't do today's training session. We can confirm he's now stable and undergoing tests. So they haven't actually announced him gone. They're just saying he's having tests. I think Fabrizio Romano had said that Glazer has got the job. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. But yeah, so then, you know, it's rumored that he's about to lose his job. Um, but it's interesting, isn't it? It's very, very interesting. If Glazer is coming in, Olivia Glazer, where how much time does he have before Monday? They've not announced him yet. Like, let's be real, football clubs don't always announce when they start their jobs. We had Sean Dyche photoed going into Finch Farm 3 times before the club decided to even announce it. So he could be already there working with the staff and the players. Um, if he isn't, and they're still dotting the I's and crossing the T's, I think you could be looking at a caretaker manager for our game just because of they're not going to get a training session in. The last training session will probably be what, like Tuesday, Saturday. They've got to travel and get ready and stuff. Maybe you could sneak in a little one Sunday, but you got to cover recovery days. I don't know what their training schedule is, but it could be quite fit on the ground. And they could just be like, right, let's get the caretaker in, just for that game, and then Glazer starts next week. I don't know. It's a bit messy for Palace. Along with Roy Hodgson not being there, I said on the channel the other day that I think Palace are ones to look at if we want to, that could sleepwalk into this relegation fight. Um, just on Glazer, he is a good manager. He did very well in Germany. Overachieved with what he had. I think if Palace give him the time, he could be a nice appointment there. Do I think they go on a European charge next year if they stay up? No, but I think with what they've got, he will get rid of the older players, get more of the youngsters in, and will build quite a nice little squad with them. And it'll make them tough to beat. Players missing for them is going to be a big issue. Gay's out, Elise's out, Eze's out. They're 3 big players. Obviously one in defence, 2 up on the higher end of the field in midfield. Elise and Eze, glad to see they're not playing, to be honest. The last couple of times we played them, they've caused trouble, mainly for falling over in the box. But they are good dribblers and they are good players. The last couple of times we played them have gone down a little bit easy. Palace are a team that it feels like we play Palace at least 4 times a year as of late. I don't know. I don't know why. I guess we're just the cup. I know we played them in the cup, but yeah, I guess maybe as well because that Palace game is stuck in everyone's head. But yeah, so I think they'll be missing some big players. Who it'll be interesting to see how they deal without them. I can't. I saw their Chelsea game, the 3-1 loss. Um, played Richards and Anderson at the back. They do have Adam Wharton that we were looking at. He's in the midfield with Hughes and Lerma. And then Ayew, Franca, and Mateta up front. So Franca is probably where Eze is normally or something. And then Elise with Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton, by the way, really good player. Be interesting to see how his Palace career gets on. It'd be really, really interesting to see how that goes for them. But yeah, definitely one to watch. I think with the record as well and where Palace are, we've got to be looking at this as a must win, really, get some points on the board. Just if we want to, escape the drop, get away from a couple of the teams. And like I said, the weekend is built around the teams around us having tough games. And with them missing key players, their goals, I think, who do you watch out for? I think you've got to be careful still of a couple of players. I know Edouard is their top goal scorer with 6. And then it's Elise, and then it's with 6, then it's Eze with 5, then it's at Mateta with 3. Not a lot of high scoring players there. Jordan Ayew, though, is top assists, and I imagine he will play. I think it's just Award and Eze going forward that will cause him trouble. At the back, Joachim Anderson, I think he's a good player. He'll cause us a bit of trouble, be hard to beat. In the air, I think he's going to give Calvert-Lewin a hard time. For us, depending on who's fit, Sean Dyche hasn't had his press conference yet at the time of recording, so I don't know who is fit and who isn't. If Decore is fit, we will play the 4-4-1-1, 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to call it, 4-5-1. I think it'll be Pickford in goal, Mikolenko, Brownfight, Tarkowski, Godfrey still. Garner, part of me thinks he'll bring in Onana, but then I'm not too sure because Idrissa Gueye, I think, has had a good couple of games. And then he'll play McNeil, maybe Harrison Young and Calvert-Lewin. The only other way I see that changing is that he maybe brings on Onana and pushes Garner out wide. He hasn't done that in a while, though, so I don't know why he'd do that again. I think he stays with the City, and I think we might see Onana a bit earlier in the game if needed. Just because Idrissa Gueye, it'd feel a bit harsh to, or maybe he drops Garner for Onana. It depends on who he thinks has been performing well enough. I think personally Onana and Garner together create a lot of chances from that midfield. The only reason I'm not saying drop Idrissa Gueye is because I think he's had a really good game, and I think a couple of games, and I think it's a bit cruel when they've had good games to drop them. But I think that will majority be it. If Decore is back, Decore I'd like to see in the fold. But it's if Decore is back and Decore is, fit enough to play. But I think we do miss Decore, and as soon as he is fit enough to play, I think he has to come straight in, doesn't he? And then players for us that I think will stand out. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put myself on the line here and say Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He has an all right record against Palace. So I'm gonna go with. He tends to play well against them. I'm gonna go with Calvert-Lewin. I think he might have a good game this game. And scores wise, we are weirdly. I always used to hate predicting us keeping a clean sheet because it never happens, and that's absolutely instilled in me now. But we are good for clean sheets. I'm gonna go with our goal scoring. I'm gonna go with 1-0, 1-0 to Everton. Just with the lack of goal scoring we've got. But that is all we've got time for. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and comment down below your score predictions. Look forward to reading them. See you soon.